So, do you know when you were born? Sounds like a strange question, right? But until I was 8 years old, my family celebrated my birthday on May the 4th, but I was born on December the 30th. Today I'm recording this video on my 82nd birthday, December the 30th. And I'm here with old Mickey, who's about ready to fall asleep on my chest here. He's probably about the same age as I am. In this video, I'm going to tell you why I did not know my birthday until I was 8 years old. But more importantly, I'm going to share with you the 4 most important things that I've learned in my 82 years. Hi, this is old Mike. Old me living better. You know my motto: if you ain't dead, you ain't done. So Mickey and I share something in common. We're both rescue dogs. Well, he's the rescue dog. We're both adopted. We got Mickey when he was about a year old. He's about 15 years old now. He's a little Maltese mix, and he's my little Velcro dog. He just sticks with me wherever I go. So my parents brought me home from the Los Angeles Salvation Army Foundling Home, that's what they called it in those days, on May the 4th. And they decided to celebrate my birthday on May the 4th because December 30th was so close to Christmas. However, when I was about 8 years old, my mother pulled me aside and she began to share with me that I was an adopted child, and she shared with me when my real birthday was. Now, if you want to hear that full story, I'll link in the description to a video that shares my adoption story. I am not a mistake. But let me get to the important part of this video, and that's the 4 things that I've learned. And I'm just going to go over them rather quickly and not explain too much about them. Number 1 is non-judgmental listening. I've been a terrible listener for a lot of my life. And so I'm always thinking about what I'm going to say back to somebody, how I'm going to defend myself, how I'm going to make my point. So rather than listening to people, I'm always got my brain going. My wife and I went to marriage counseling one time, and the therapist turned to my wife and asked her to share kind of what she was feeling. And she got done, 10 minutes or so. And he turned to me and he said, okay, Mike, what did your wife just say? I didn't have a clue. I was too busy trying to figure out what I was going to say in response to what my wife was going to say. So I was not listening at all. Learning to have non-judgmental listening was a major change in my life. It saved my marriage. It saved my relationships. Number 2 of what I've learned in life is calculated risk taking. That's right, calculated risk taking. Most of you know I've been a surfer most of my life, and many years ago, I went to Morro Bay, California with a friend of mine, and it was a huge surf was coming in on the north side of the rock, and probably 15 to 20 foot faces, which is above my skill level, I got to tell you. And my friend and I sat there, and he turned to me, and this is what he said: I don't think I'm going to risk going out there. And I turned to him and I said, hey, I'm going to take that risk. Man, that was the worst decision I ever made. I got pounded that day. I took off on a wave. It propelled me off the top of it. I mean, I felt like I was falling off a 40-foot building. Matter of fact, the lifeguards had to pull me out of the water. Since then, I've learned that taking risk is really important. It helps to have an adventurous life, but you need to have calculated risk taking. That will really help. Now, I took a risk at 80 years old and started this YouTube channel, but it's a risk that's really paid off. Number 3, focus on life, not death. Now, I'm not talking about physical death, though that's part of it. I'm talking about the death of a vision, the death of a dream, the death of a relationship. Those are the things that I'm talking about. I had a vision early on in my life to have a successful PR firm. Matter of fact, I started my PR firm. I had employees all over the world. I was working for several really big companies, but I got to tell you, all of a sudden, that wonderful vision, that wonderful PR firm went belly up and I went bankrupt in the middle of it. It was horrible. It brings to mind a great Bible verse. John chapter 12, verse 24. I say to you, unless a grain of wheat falls into the ground and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it produces much grain. Out of the death of my vision for a PR firm, shortly after I started and launched the church that I have been pastoring for almost 40 years now. So, what I thought was my vision really wasn't the vision where I really was fulfilled. The last thing I want to share has been probably the most important thing in shaping my life, and it's to focus on faith and not fear. Oh man, I've lived through phases of my life in great fear. After the bankruptcy and the falling apart of my PR firm, man, it was really a struggle. For me, the only thing that has defeated fear is faith. Faith in myself, faith in others, and most of all, faith in God. There's another Bible verse that I really love, Romans 10:17. So then faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the Word of God. I've discovered that when I have faith in God, all of a sudden I have faith in myself, and I have faith in others. The only way I've been able to defeat fear is by leaning into faith. And I spend every day now for the last 30 or 40 years taking an hour and diving into journaling, reading my Bible, meditating, spending time with God. So here I am with Mickey. He's fallen asleep at 82 years old. And I do know my birthday now. I didn't know it when I was 8. But I know why I'm still here. To listen better, to take thoughtful risks, to focus on life and not death, to focus on faith and not fear. None of us know how much time we have left, but we do get to choose how we live today. And I'm hoping that you choose life today. I'm hoping that you have a really great day. This is old Mike and old Mickey. And remember the most important thing. If you ain't dead, you ain't done. I'll see you next time. Bye.